So I thought I would do this next video on, it's high time we had that conversation, passwords. Hi everyone, I'm Elise Lonsdale and welcome to another video from me here at Data Australasia.
Data Australasia, guided by lived experience, led by you.
Thanks Kylie for that wonderful introduction. Why did I want to do a video on passwords? Evil passwords. Don't you hate them? Yeah, because you log in and you go, oh, can't remember the password. Scratch head, scratch head, scratch head. Oh, you have, I wonder if it's here, a little black book. Oh, I have a little black book. Oh, here it is. Here's my little black book. All right, we'll talk about the little black book in a minute. Mrs. McGillicuddy has these things, and they're quite hard to deal with. So you've got your password written down. Oh, you know your password. You've made up a password, and you've remembered to put in an exclamation mark because it's the same password you've had for the last 10 years, but you've capitalized one letter. And you've stuck in a number, maybe the year of your birth or the year of your kid's birthday or something like that, and you threw on an exclamation mark because since 10 years ago, we've got to have passwords with special characters. Yep, so you've done all that. But then someone says it needs to be more than 10 characters or fewer than 16 or as long as you want. So then you start varying that password. Or if you're one of my clients, you've got the well-meaning family member, for example, who's come along and set you up on Facebook or got you logged into your Google account, and I've come along to do a lesson and we need to use the Google account for that lesson, or we need to have you logged back into your Apple account. All of a sudden, you can't get access to your iMessages or even your emails, a very simple one. Oh, I can't get access to my email. I forgot my password. Now, both Google and Apple, particularly Apple, have a massive comprehensive system to go through to recover a password these days. I myself set up an account with the Tatslotto people here in Melbourne just the other day, and password's reality changed, hasn't it? I can't get back into the account. I've got to ring them because every time I do a password reset, forgot your password. No, I never bloody remember them in the first place. I use a password manager. The record didn't get saved in the password manager at that time, and we don't know what the password is. But I'm not getting the password reset emails from them. I don't know why. There's no reason why I shouldn't be receiving those emails, and I should be able to go through a password reset because these guys have now got my banking details. So that's cool, but I need to access the account. So that's a job for tomorrow. I use a password manager, and that's the only time 2 weeks ago when I set this up that in the 5 years I've used one password that it's actually failed me. Usually it prompts me to save the record. What I generally do is when I set up a new account on something like, say, the Tatslotto people, I type in what I want my username to be, which is usually one of my email addresses. And then I select my password either by having one password generate that password, and then or typing it in myself and putting a couple of extra special characters in. And in this particular instance, it was balking at all the passwords I put in. It wanted special characters. Well, I had a special character. It wanted a capital letter. I think I had 2 capital letters in it. It wanted a number. I think I had about 4 or 5 numbers in that password. It still was not going to buy it. So there was definitely a problem at their end with accepting any of the passwords. Generally, I put all those details in each record in one password, and many of the password managers utilize this format of each entity website log on, whether it be LinkedIn or Facebook or your bank or the club down the road, or my access to Apple Users Society of Melbourne, or my access to the corporate stuff at my Friday job I've got in there as well. Whatever has always at least 3 sets of standard credentials. 1, the URL, where you log in, especially if it's a web interface. If it's an app, it's not so important. The username, whether it be an email address or something other, and a password. So with the password, so they're the 3 things, or at least the 2 things that you're going to need. Now we have Passkeys, and I'll come back to that in a minute. So you've got to write them down in the password manager as you set up the account. And then I usually copy that when it says nominate your password. I copy out of the password manager what I think the password should be, and all should be well. And usually by that time I've also saved the record. But in this instance, the record didn't save, and nor did 1Password in that instance prompt me to save the record, so we lost the record. So I'm very vigilant normally when I set up a new account on any new system, lest we get something going wrong with the password. The fact of the matter is the password is different from what we know it to be or think it should be, so we end up having to go through password resets, and they can take bloody hours and have been known to mess up and interrupt many Access Tech sessions we've done with people in the past. But, do I do that? Is that part of my job? No one really knows, because we're now IT mentors. Are we AT mentors? Are we supposed to just be helping people with their Access Tech? Well, as I said in other videos, I'm a trainer, a qualified trainer. As I've also discussed, I'm a qualified technician. And I've had years and years and years of experience in both Access Tech and regular tech. So are we supposed to be helping people set up their accounts? Well, when it comes to these things that are so reliant on voiceover built into a mainstream device such as an iPhone or a computer, and now JAWS, by the way, is rolling this out across America and soon to be around the world, having a Vespero account. So even to use JAWS, you'll need to have authentication into their system. So, they've got an idea of what licensing arrangements you've got with them and that sort of stuff. So we're seeing that subscription model and, phone home model quite around the world with a lot of stuff. So do I fix up someone's password, or do I just say, sorry, Mrs. McGillicuddy, no, I can't help you? No, I feel it's part of my job. I'm an access technology specialist, and to sometimes make that access technology work, whether it be JAWS's new rolling out of accounts, or whether it be Apple's accounts or Google's accounts, or even your Amazon Alexa. There's an Amazon Alexa over here. That requires a password and log on to have an Amazon account. If I'm going to help people set these things up, I've got to be able to help them set up their passwords as well and keep a track on it. So am I an access technology specialist? I absolutely am. So, if people think I can't use the word specialist or trainer, I am going to use both those words. I'm a trainer and a specialist in my field. So if anyone thinks they can go and rewrite the English language, perhaps they'd be best off reading George Orwell. Those who aren't using password managers, and that is often the well-meaning family member who set up accounts for their grandmothers or their aunties or their uncles or their elderly parents. And some of those elderly parents, due to age-related sight loss, I've got to go around and help as part of my job, because that's what Access Technology and Data Australasia, Access Technology Specialist through Vision Australia. And when I was at the Blowen Foundation, that's what our job is all about. So Mrs. McGilly comes out with a little black book. Oh, so we can't log into your Apple account. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, dear. So, I've got it. Oh, yes. Here it is. Here's the password. Cabbage. Okay, cabbage. Is that with a big K or a little K? Oh, I think it's a big K. But they spelt it with a K. Oh, right. Cabbage with a K. All right. K-A-B-B-A-G. Oh, are there any numbers involved in this? Oh, yeah. 1939. Oh, great. So they had cabbages in 1939 when you were born. Beautiful. What's an exclamation mark? Oh, I don't know about that. So then we have this running around, what is the password? And by the way, this one's actually not filled in, but I've seen so many little black books that so many elderly clients have had. They've got so many cross-outs and scribble-outs because someone's changed the password on the account and scribbled out the old password and written in a new one. Oh, but then there was the time when somebody changed the password on Mrs. McGillicuddy's account and didn't write the password in the little black book. So, little black book, useless. Keep your passwords safe is the object of this video. Whether you do it through a password manager such as LastPass, 1Pass, or now the Apple Password Manager, although I have my reservations about the Apple one because it's got an interface that lets you change your password logons but does not let you into changing your credit card details so easily and can very easily hold on to old and outdated records. It's one thing I think Apple need to clear up. But they've made inroads and they've sort of copied what part of the interface they're using. They've almost borrowed it, I think, from 1Password. I still use 1Password because I've had to make a decision. 1Password is my point of truth because I have massive reservations about the Apple one. As I said, it holds on to outdated information. It's a bit like Mrs. McGillicuddy's black book, I guess, with wrong passwords in it. But now we have Passkeys. Now, you don't have to do anything with a passkey. If you have a log on to an account with a standard password and you're logging in, the Australian government took me through this process recently. So did QuickBooks. Google did, and it was almost like, how the hell did that happen? Would you like to create a passkey? I clicked on yes, and all of a sudden it happened. And what it does is it saves the passkey into your device so that it actually knows that device is logging on. Part of the key is on your computer, part of the key is on their computer, and if they match, they let you in. Now, the beauty about Apple with its continuity and keychain system, and this is one thing I really think that Apple have got right, is that once you do it on one of your Apple devices, it filters through to all your others. So I set this up on the Mac in the office, just in the other room there. If I jumped onto any of those websites, I would just use Touch ID. If I jumped onto my.gov.au or QuickBooks or something like that, all I'd have to do is touch the fingerprint scanner on my MacBook Pro here, and boom, I'm in. Because the credentials and the tokens, the keys, are saved in the Apple keychain, because the Apple keychain is very, very secure. It's a credit to Apple, them doing that actually. So passkeys are coming in, and I will do another video on those. But we need to think about security. You need to be vigilant, because you don't want people logging in, changing your credentials and locking you out of your account. And I have seen that happen. And sadly with Facebook, not so long ago, locked out a friend of mine, I think it was in New Zealand, and had no desire to have them gain access to the account. The hacker got control of the account, changed the password, locked out the original user, and stole their identity. Thank you, Facebook. So these, major tech platforms need to play a better game, in my opinion. Apple do, and if you get locked out of an Apple account, as I said in other forums, it's very, very hard to get back in. But you can, if you jump through the right hoops. Anyway, that's it on passwords. Look after your passwords. Steer clear of little black books. Watch the Apple keychain in case it holds on to wrong information or outdated information. If you're not pushing it as hard as I do, perhaps the Apple keychain is a good solution for you, because it's free and built in. So it is a good way of getting you started. But if you push things as hard as I do, sometimes a third-party password manager where you have access to all records, not just the usernames and passwords of various websites, but you have access to credit card information, passport information, and some of those things I haven't been able to find in Keychain to fix. For example, every time I use Apple Keychain on my business account, it fires the wrong expiry date at the website. So I've got to make sure I've got to change the expiry date, because Apple's always sending the wrong information through, and of course the transaction gets declined when I want to buy something on my business account. So that just sort of defeats the purpose of having it, and there's no way I can get in to fix it. If that was one password sending that information through, and it can do, I only have to go in and open the record and make the amendment there, save the record, and I'm done. Anyway, passwords are something that we need to be vigilant about, or passkeys, because your online security is now paramount. Would you leave your credit card lying on the verge in the street? No, you wouldn't. So why leave your passwords unprotected? Thanks for watching. I'm Elise Lonsdale, and I will be speaking to you very soon in the next video. Look forward to it. See you then.
For fast, efficient access technology training and support, call Elise Lonsdale from Australia 0448 966 533. That's 0448 966 533. Or from New Zealand on 027 315 2858. That's 027 315 2858. Data Australasia. Guided by lived experience, led by you.